Perspective in magic is something that is being ignored. It is being buried deeply under piles and piles of books with love spells in them. I wanted to talk about the dark magics, the left-handed magics. Are these really bad? You see, magic is all about intent. Whatever your intent is, it determines the effect of the spell. Everything can be used in good and bad ways. The intent affects it. So we can't say a spell is strictly good and evil, because you have spells out there that will help you commune with the dead. Okay, well, if you are doing a spell to talk to the dead, in many other religions and many other aspects, people are thinking what you're doing is evil. That all you're doing is trying to talk to somebody who maybe passed away last year. It's all about perspective. So you have to forget about dark magic and light magic and focus on magic as a whole. Because nature is a violent place at times. You know, we want to see our picturesque nature full of the little rabbits and deer just going around nibbling and happy as can be, but we also know that there are predators out there that keep the populations in balance. Too many deer and the deer will starve during the wintertime. Okay, so we have to thank the wolf for maintaining the deer population so that when wintertime comes, the deer aren't all starving to death. Okay? So, does this make the wolves evil? The answer is no. That's just the way nature is. And so our magic must be viewed in the same manner. Just because we do something that is not popular does not mean that it's evil. Neo-paganism has become a realm of extremism. And I say this because we have a bunch of light workers out there that have taken this extremist view that you are to shun negativity. You are to walk away from anything dark, that you must be light or you are evil. This kind of reminds me of the Jedi from Star Wars, because the Jedi believe that you are to be a light worker. You are supposed to be kind of an unemotional drone that did the right thing at all times. And the Jedi were in direct opposition with the Sith, who in Lucas's world is these magic users, force users, that focused on the darkness, the power, and greed, and all that. Now, the problem with Lucas's world is that it is two-dimensional thinking. It is Christian thinking. I say this because the Christians have this mentality that you are either with God or you are against God. There is no middle ground. There is no neutral position. You are one or the other. This is why a lot of Christians will say that pagans are devil worshippers because we're not promoting their God, thus we are going against their God. Magic is neutral. Energy is neutral. It is our intent that turns magic into what it is. Now, I can take a love spell and turn it into something evil. I can do this because I can destroy a couple with a love spell. So there are two people in love, and I cast a love spell on one of them for somebody outside of that relationship. And that can, in turn, cause animosity, a rift, and that couple will fall apart. But this was done with a love spell, something that is always considered positive. And it is considered positive because in all of these grimoires and spell books that you can buy at bookstores, you know, they have a chapter devoted just to love spells. And they will not talk about self-defense and fighting back. And I think that's wrong. There are binding spells up the wazoo. And there are a lot of people that are willing to bind themselves to a person so that they would stop doing a certain action. And I'm against binding, because there you are tethering yourself to this person that is not the greatest person in the world apparently, and to stop them from doing a certain action. And why connect yourself to something like that? So sometimes it's better, in my opinion, to place a little light curse to hex them, to fight back in some manner. Now, also I want to hit on this before I get a little bit darker. Magic is perspective. Good and evil is perspective. I could do a summon spirit spell. Now, this would allow me to talk to an entity from the other world, right? And to a lot of people, hey, that's nothing wrong. You know, it's all about what my intent is. But then again, to the Christians and all that, that is evil, because I am playing with the dead. And so we have to shun the concept of good and evil when it comes to magic. Because only in certain cases, so extreme cases, is magic evil. If I was to do a death spell, yes, that is absolutely evil. We don't want anybody to die unless it's a matter of self-defense. You know, it's either that person or yourself, okay. But we have to stop having these absolute views on magic, because it is counterproductive. When I look at nature, I see that nature is full of violence. It is a contest, a competition, where you have to be stronger, faster, smarter, or have one hell of a defense to stay alive. The strongest will survive, okay? The natural selection. And so, by saying that we can harm none, that we can't do these certain spells because they're considered dark, then we are requiring ourselves to live in a cage. We have to, we're being defanged, declawed, and all that. And so, when something really bad happens, we are unable to defend ourselves. And we have to be able to defend ourselves at times. And sometimes we have to counterattack an attack. So, I'm trying to think of the words here. So I think about the Great Order from Star Wars. I know I've been referencing them a lot. When they say that There shall always be evil for there to be good, but evil must not prevail. We have to have something to compare good to know what good is. Okay. I have decided to write a book about darker magics. Left-handed magics. Now, the reason why I have decided to do this is because I feel there is a need for it. Now, I know a lot of you aren't going to like me for it, but the fact is, if you go into any bookstore, an occult shop, you are going to find 20, 30 books that have all these wonderful love spells and money spells and all these wonderful little spells that you can do any day of the week. But life is not always happy. Life is not always gentle. There are moments in life where we have to fight back. There are moments in life where we are wronged. And so we need ways to fight back. And if you go looking for spells, you're not going to find them. Very seldom do you find them online or in any book. And only thing that we have today are people who are willing to do binding spells. I'm going to bind myself to this person so that they don't do this. And you have to ask yourself, do you want to permanently connect yourself to somebody that is doing bad deeds? I don't. I refuse to connect myself for the rest of my life to somebody that's doing something wrong. I will do a spell that will make them stop